So we'll just study about the lungs anatomy, right? So as you know that these lungs, no, here you can see both side that is present, right? And here you'll find the sternum, and these are the ribs over here, and the cartilage has been removed out here, right? And these two organs, okay, they are the respiratory organs situated inside the thoracic cavity. Okay, here we'll see that these two lungs, they are the respiratory organs, they are situated inside this thoracic cavity. Okay, and this long, so lung, long means singular, longs, that is the plural. Okay, so actually it is covered by the pleura. No, the outer covering of the lung is the pleura, right? In young person you'll find the color of the lungs is mainly gray color. Okay, or you'll see brown color or gray color like that. So here it is, the lungs, they are covered by the pleura, right? So what is this pleura? Pleura is the outer covering of the lungs, right? And these lungs, they are brown in color or gray in color, right? In young age. Okay, but gradually they become mottled black in color because of the deposition of your, what is that, carbon dioxide particles, no, during the inhalation, right? Here you can see some of the spots are over here. So this spots color, right, that will be the color of whole of the lungs when the age proceeds, right? And here you'll see the right lung, and here you'll see the left lung. So here you'll find there is a notch over here. So that notch, this notch is not present over the right, and this is the landmark to identify the right lung and left lung blindly, right? So this notch is known as your cardiac notch because at this position your heart is present, right? That's why this notch is formed due to the presence of the heart, right? So that's why this is named as a cardiac notch. And here you'll see the right lung. So the right lung weighs around 700 gram. Okay, and it is uh, just heavier than the left lung. Okay, how much? 50 to 100 gram heavier, because that 50 to 100 gram, that is here, no, this deficiency. Okay, that actually makes 50 to 100 grams lesser in weight than this right lung, right? So if it is right lung is 700 gram, it will be near about 600 to 650 gram. Okay, that is your left lung, right? So here just we'll remove the rib cage so that it will be easy to know. Okay, the lungs over here, right? So here we'll see uh, the feature of the lungs. Here you'll find the lungs are actually conical in shape. No, you can see it is conical. No, here, right? You can see it is conical. So this is the one surface over here. Okay, so this is the outer surface you'll find over here. Okay, and here inside you'll find the inner surface, right? Here you'll see the this is your inner surface. Okay, this is your inner surface. Okay, so it is the outer surface and the inner surface, along with you'll find this surface, right? This is your what, the base of the lungs over here. Okay, and here you'll see, though it is conical, so it is a apex over here. Okay, and the base over here. So this is upper side, it will find the, you'll find the apex, and at the lower side you will find the base, right? So here the apex, that is at the upper end, okay, and the base is resting on the diaphragm, right? Here at this level you'll find the diaphragm, right? And this level you'll find the heart, right? So you can say this base is broad and it is just resting on the diaphragm, right? And it has three borders, okay. What is that? Here you'll find the anterior border. Okay, just I will remove the left lung so that it will be easy to identify all these things. Okay, so here you can see this is only one lung I have taken, that is the right lung, right? So as you can see here, this is your anterior border. Okay, this anterior border is very sharp, right? Okay, and just back to that, here you will find the posterior border. No, so this is your posterior border, which is wider and blunt in nature. Okay, this is wider and blunt, right? Which one? The posterior border. Okay, but the anterior border is very sharp in nature. Okay, that you can see. This is the anterior border. Okay, and after anterior and posterior border, here you will find the inferior border. Okay, so this is your inferior border, right? The inferior border, which is also sharp, the posterior border, which is blunt, okay, and the anterior border, which is also sharp in nature, okay. So it is three borders, right? And it has two surfaces, okay. What is that? Inner surface. Here you can see all over this part is the inner surface, and this surface is actually it is known as medial surface, okay. Which surface? Medial surface, or in more appropriately you can say it is the mediastinal surface, because you know na, in between the two lungs, no, there will be the presence of the mediastinum, right? So here you will find the area or the surface which is known as your mediastinal surface, or you can say simply the medial surface, okay. Like that, here you'll find whatever the rest part of the surface, okay, all this part, no, here it is actually known as your costal surface. Here you can see the impressions of the ribs, no, impressions of the ribs are present over here. So these impressions that indicates that it is very closely related to the ribs, right? So that's why this is known as your, what is that, coastal surface, right? So again this coastal surface, you can say that this coastal surface you can divide into, sorry, this medial surface that you can divide into two sections, no. Here you can see, you just see my pointer, all this part that actually takes place in the formation of your mediastinum, right? That's why this is the mediastinal surface. But this part, no, that you can see, this part, whole this blunted part, right, posterior medially, that is, you can say this is actually the vertebral surface. Why? Because the body of the vertebra, that is mainly related to these lungs, right? Otherwise you just remember the medial surface, okay, and the lateral surface or the coastal surface, right? So we got the three borders and two surfaces, right? तो हमने क्या देखे? Here we'll find the apex, okay. So this apex that lies above the level of your first vertebra. You have to remember these words, no, what I am telling you. Apex is present just above the first vertebra, okay. Though it is the part of your thorax region, but the lungs it is going up to the root of the neck, okay. That's why it is crossing your first rib, okay. Here you can see the impressions over here, right? So this impression indicates this is the first rib. Okay, and above to that, whatever this part is there, this part it is going to the root of the neck, right? So it reaches just 2.5 cm above to the first rib. Okay, the apex that lies above the level of the first rib, and it reaches 2.5 cm above the medial one third part of the clavicle and just medial to the supraclavicular fossa, right? Then you'll find the base over here. Okay, so this base here you can see it is rest on the diaphragm. No, it is the base. This is not, this is medial surface. Okay, this is the base, right? So this base that is actually situates above to the diaphragm, and it the diaphragm only that separates the right lung from the, what is that, right lobe of the liver. Okay, here you can see this base is concave in shape. Why concave? Because of the presence of your dome of the liver. Actually this diaphragm separates the right lung from the right lobe of the liver. Okay, and the left lung, that is actually related to your fundus of the stomach, right? Because left side will find the stomach and right side will find the lung, right? So the fundus of the stomach, that is related to the left lung and is separated by the left dome of the diaphragm. Clear? So the fundus of the stomach and the spleen both are related to the left lung. Okay. Then here you will see the anterior border. Okay, the anterior border, right? This border. So this anterior border that actually very sharp in nature. Okay, and it is just convex and running downward. Okay, and that continues as a inferior border, right? Anterior border that descends downward. Okay, and that continues here at the base as a inferior border of the lung. Okay, so at the left lung, what you'll find? You'll find the notch. No, what is that? You'll find the cardiac notch. This is your left lung, right? And here you'll find the anterior border of the left lung. Okay, this is your anterior border of the left lung, and this anterior border of the left lung that is wider than the right lung. Okay, right anterior border. Okay, right anterior border is very sharp. Okay, then the left one. Okay, left one you can see it is little bit wider. Okay, and here you will find a cardiac notch below the level of the fourth costal cartilage. Okay, so here you can see the first one, second one, third one, and the fourth one, right? These are the impressions of the costal cartilage. So below to the fourth costal cartilage, here you'll find this notch over here. So this notch is known as your cardiac notch. Okay. So the heart and the pericardium, okay, they are actually here, no, that will be present over here, and that will be covered by the lungs, right? Here, the left lung. Okay. So this part is the cardiac part. Okay. Then the heart that is actually covered laterally by the lungs over here, and whole over the heart is covered by the pericardium. Okay, but anteriorly here you'll find this deficiency, right? So this deficiency is your cardiac notch, where the heart is uncovered, okay, by the lungs. Okay, then come to the posterior border. Okay, so here you'll find the posterior border. Okay, this is your posterior border. And you know this posterior border that is corresponds to the medial margin of the head of the ribs, okay, and the vertebral body, right? So mainly vertebral body will be present here, no, at the middle, and just side to that you'll find the costal facet, and you'll find the head of the ribs, right? So the medial margin of the head of the ribs that is closely related to this posterior border, okay, and that is actually extends from the first thoracic vertebra, okay, up to the 10th thoracic spine, okay, from the first to 10th thoracic spine, okay, because after that you'll find the 11th one and 12th one, and there you'll find the diaphragm, no, so this above to this diaphragm there is a presence of lungs, right? So it is the lungs may be extended downward up to the 10th thoracic spine, okay, like that. Here we'll find the inferior border, okay, we'll find the inferior border over here, right? So this inferior border that actually separates the base, no, from the coastal surface, okay. So this is your what? Coastal surface, and this is the base, right? So this base is separated from this coastal surface by the help of this inferior border. Then you will find this surface is the coastal surface, right? So here you can see this one is your coastal surface, okay, whole over from the anterior border to the posterior border, right? Whatever the surface is there, that is known as your coastal surface. Why? Here you can see the impressions of the ribs, okay, and it is the large and convex in nature. No, it is the larger surface than the medial surface and the base, okay, and it is convex in nature. Medial surface concave in nature, right? Here you can see the medial surface is concave, okay. The base is also concave, but the coastal surface that is convex, and it is what is that? You'll find large surface, okay, convex surface, and it has the coastal impressions, okay. So this medial surface that can be divided into two parts. What is that? One is your vertebral surface, another is your mediastinal surface. What I have told you earlier, okay. So what will say the medial surface that is divided into vertebral part from here to here, okay, and the mediastinal part that is this depressed part, okay, from this bronchus up to the anterior border, right? So this is your mediastinal part, okay, and this mediastinal part that shows the hilum over here, okay, where you'll find this is the hilum, this is the area for the hilum, okay. So hilum means what? Hilum means there is a area where area in the organ where the structures are going in and coming out, right? That is known as the hilum. So here you know that this trachea divides into principal bronchus, then the primary bronchus, then the secondary bronchus, okay, then the tertiary bronchus, then your alveoli, like that, no, bronchioles like this, no. So here, as I have already told you in my previous lecture, that the right bronchus that is just making a sharp angle over here, and before entering into this lungs it divided into two primary bronchus, okay. What is that? The epiatrium and the hypoatrium, right? Because at this point you'll find the presence of your artery, right? So here you can see that this is your what? This is your left pulmonary artery, okay? And here if you'll see it, this blue one, no, that is your right pulmonary artery, okay? So that pulmonary artery is entering into the lungs, okay, by taking the, what is that, deoxygenated blood. And just below to that, here you'll find the hypoatrium, this green one, okay? And above to that you'll find the epiatrium, okay? Above to that, this one, okay, this one is your epiatrium, okay? And this one is your right pulmonary trunk, okay? And just below to that you will find there is a presence of your hypoatrium. This is your hypoatrium, okay? So here, like this, some structures are also coming out. No, what there? They are mainly the pulmonary vein. No, so the pulmonary vein that you can see over here, here, no, here you can see this is your pulmonary vein. Okay, so this is one side of the pulmonary vein. This is your right pulmonary vein. Two pulmonary veins are there. No, one pair of pulmonary vein that is present over here, and here you'll find another pair of pulmonary vein. Okay, so these two pulmonary veins, they are coming out of this lungs. Okay, so this area where the structures are going inside and coming out outside of from the lungs, that is known as the hilum. Clear? So the hilum that is present here at the medial surface of the lungs. Okay, then uh, you just see about this fissure and the lobes. Okay, so here you'll find this is one fissure that you can see over here. Transverse fissure is there and one oblique fissure is there. Okay, so this right lung that is divided into three lobes by two fissures, right? Here is one fissure, okay, and here is another fissure, okay? So here you can see this is your horizontal fissure and this is your oblique fissure, okay? And if you see the left lung, so if I will show you the left lung, only one fissure, right? That is the oblique fissure, okay? So this oblique lever that divides the lungs into two lobes, okay? Where? In the left side, the upper lobe and the lower lobe, okay? But in right side you'll find two fissures are there, that's why it is dividing the lungs into upper lobe, middle lobe and the lower lobe, okay, in this way. So this oblique fissure that you can see over here, that actually cuts into whole of the thickness of the lung, okay, except the hilum. It is undivided at the level of hilum, okay? But all the other part, this is also oblique fissure, okay? It just uh, what is that, it spares the hilum part. Otherwise this lungs becomes two lungs. Again at the right side you'll find two lungs, no, but it is connected, right? All over the lungs you'll find the fissure except the hilum, okay? So due to this oblique fissure, the lower lobe that is more posteriorly present, okay? Here, here is the upper lobe which is anteriorly present, okay? But this is the lower lobe which is posteriorly present, okay? Here you can see the anterior lobe, sorry, upper lobe and the middle lobe that is anteriorly present, okay? but the lower lobe that is present more posteriorly, right? Due to this oblique fissure. Okay. Then in the right lung, the horizontal fissure that you can see over here. Okay, this is the horizontal fissure that passes from the anterior border, okay, up to the oblique fissure. No, then it merges with this oblique fissure, right? And it is a it is actually separates a wedge shaped lobe over here. Okay, so this wedge shaped lobe is the middle lobe. Okay, that this wedge shaped middle lobe that separates these lungs is a upper lobe and the lower lobe. Okay, so due to this wedge shaped middle lobe, the lungs is divided into uh, three lobes. Okay, upper, lower, and the middle lobe. Right. Then here you'll find a tongue-like projections at the left. Okay, here you can see this is the tongue-like projection. It is coming out from this left lung. Okay, below to the cardiac notch. This is called the lingula. Okay, so this part, the tongue-like projections over here, just below to the cardiac notch is known as your lingula. Okay, tongue-like projection. That's why it is the lingula. Okay, and it is actually corresponding to the middle lobe of the right lung. Okay, so this right lung middle lobe that is corresponding to this lingula. Okay, so the presence of this oblique fissure on the each side of the lung, right, that allows a uniform expansion of the whole lung during the inspiration, right? Here it will also expand and it will also expand. No, uniform expansion can be possible due to the presence of this oblique fissure, right? Then uh, tomorrow we'll see the root of the lungs and the structures that is related to the root of the lung. What are the contents of the lung and what is this bronchial tree that we'll study.